Originally, this was the fan that was on the ceiling before, and it was only held in there by this little thin box with just only a few drywall screws holding it up. But it was screwed directly on to plywood because this room that I live in now, it used to be a 2-car carport, and the ceilings was originally plywood, and I just got sheetrock over it. Personally, I do not like to do shit like this, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do with what you have in order to make shit happen. I think this is like 1/4-inch plywood, if that, and this was holding the I can't say old fan, I guess I should say modern fan that was up here, and there's a stud, well, joist I should say, goes along here, and I was able to find and put it here. I'm going to have to spackle this up, but like I said, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Just so you know, I mean, yeah, I could go in the attic and just put a 2x4 across here, but let me show you something. I'm going to shove this long pipe in here, and I'm going to show you exactly where this thing's at when I go in the attic. So let's go in the attic. Here we are in the attic, and let me show you where that pole's at. Right back there. If you think my fat ass can squeeze in there, think again. Oh yeah, these fucking roof tacks, they fucking hurt when you accidentally jump up and hit them by mistake. Yeah, fuck that. So I just looked for a joist, and I was able to find one that ran along across here. So I did it that way. So yeah, what you just seen in the attic, that's why I did what I did. First thing I gotta do is put this hook in to the joist about another inch, because the canopy stops here. I actually tried fitting the fan first, and the canopy all the way up stops here. That ain't gonna work. I gotta at least have it where it's at least close to the ceiling. So I'm gonna go ahead and screw this in and do that. The easiest way to screw these hooks in, what I find, and I've been doing it like this for years, is I just use a Stilson wrench. These things do get kind of tough to put in. Also, make sure you get a good hook, one that won't snap on you when you're trying to screw it up right into a joist like this. Alright, I'm going to try to fit it and see if the canopy as close to the ceiling, which is what I want. So fans that have that requires J hooks, they would have a little rubber bushing like this. Usually Hunters, pretty much your older fans such as this Fasco with stacker motors, or older 70s Hong Kong fans that have really heavy spinners in them that are made out of cast iron. Usually have those. Of course, your older fans don't usually sit in a ball or in a basket. Alright, let's see how close we are. Still got a good bit to go. Alright, take it down and continue. Tight as it is, at least I know this fucker's not coming down. That's for damn sure. Alright, try it again. Let's see where we are. A couple more turns and I'll be satisfied with it. One more for the hell of it. Right. That ought to be it. Yeah. It gets kind of tight around here when you're trying to put the bushing in. I think got it. Perfect. Perfect. Right. Sweet. Now what I do before I spackle it, like I said, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I have noticed that this wiring is done a little different too. This, the red would normally be for the light, and the black would be for the fan. This one's a little different. The black is the light, and the red is the fan. And of course the white's common. It's just backwards, but hell with it. That'll work. I have the ground that pretty much do two things, to be a ground for the fan and also keep the wires this way. Alright. The only thing is, I kind of wish that the previous owner did not cut these wires so fucking short. I mean, you can see what I'm about to get myself into. Did that thing get on all the way? I just want to make sure, yes. Okay. Alright. This is why I don't like to cut the wires short. I usually like to at least give about at least that much, you know, from the motor. But I mean, look at this. You got the fan and the light. That's as far as it goes right there. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to hook the light wire up hot because that's why the lights are on in the room. If I turn that off, then I'll be in the dark. Alright. Go ahead and stick the ground on first and get that out the way. See, this is the thing, you know. When you cut the wire short, how much room you have. But this is just the ground wire. That's nothing. I guess the ground wire port is my fault because I happen to put it like that, but alright. Get it out the way of the canopy. Alright. Now comes the bitch part. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Alright. Okay. I'm going to make this a little easier. That way I don't have to hold it with one hand and try to wire it with the other. You got like a air conditioning vent that's close by on the ceiling. You can kind of just temporarily just tie it. Oops, didn't mean to do that. There. Now you almost have all the room in the world. Almost. I don't want to jinx myself. I love a video cam with a remote control. Alright. Let's get to it. Push these in. Because the previous owner did not give me any room whatsoever. None. No room. Well, I got room, just don't have no slack in the wires or anything. Alright, here we go. Trying to do this live without getting the shit shocked out of me. Oh boy, I gotta push it down some more. Okay, that might do it. Yes, that did it. Well, at least I know if the fuse goes, then I'll know that it's not wired right. I assume that the white is common. Come on, bastard. Alright. One more left. And it's the shortest one. Go figure. Might be the one that's going to get me. We shall see. No sparks. That's a good sign. Alright, let me push these in. Now, time to stack all this shit. That way it doesn't look like crap. I got this stuff that goes on red and dries white. Doesn't matter if it's a little off because I plan to repaint the ceiling anyways. Alright, start off by pushing some in. Make sure there's no air. I don't want any cracks to be seen when it dries. Fuck. Yeah, I'm sure on YouTube they got pros that do this. Well, my video is about how the average asshole does it. Make sure I get all the creases out of it, that way it'll be less sanding I gotta do when it dries. That's good enough shit. Good enough for me. And this, once it dries, I'll sand it. The ceiling probably won't even notice it. There we go. Just gonna make sure the wires has enough room to let the canopy go up. Alright. Just need a little screw now. Actually, wait. I forgot. I gotta put the blades on first before I raise the canopy up because putting the blades on will do this shit. Alright. So let's put the blades on. There it is. Now, all right, let's test it. Looks like the first one is the very low from low to medium. And then the second pull is the high speed. Go ahead and give a little more. Alright, that's open right there. It's all the way on medium. Now, for high speed, you just pull the chain a second time. And what a breeze it puts out. I'm going to put it on reverse now. We'll start over just like as if I had it when I had it in forward. Sorry it's late. Our brain stops working when it's late. Now to reverse it, the switch is on the top of the motor housing. Right? All the way down to as low as it can go. What I gotta give for it is another tassel for this pull chain because this one seems to be missing. I could probably leave it on reverse for now. Might help try that spackling up there. But I think you ought to let that dry naturally. If you make it dry too fast, it might crack. I don't want that. Well, it's just testing purposes, that's all what I'm doing. It's got a little slight shake to it, but it's not too bad. Probably do a little adjusting here and there. Probably swap a couple of the blades around. Usually that takes care of the vibration, as long as your blade brackets are not bent. Alright, it's all the way to medium. Now for high speed. Like I said, just the next click will be on high. Let's see the coast down time, how long it takes for it to stop. Seems like the only restriction it has is just the wind pounding against it. That's about it. It's pretty free to me. Go ahead and put it back on forward. Get a couple of shots of it.